I'm on cloud nine.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Hey, right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool. You
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
All right, I'm live. We're here. We're back. We didn't do a show Saturday. We're so sorry for that. Everybody's so sorry. But I'm here tonight, and I'm planning on doing a lot more shows during the weeknights. No promises. Never going to promise to do every single night like I did back in the day. You didn't appreciate it enough back in the day. So I'm taking my time. I'm going to gather my thoughts. There's more wrestling than ever. I could do a show all day, every day if I really wanted to, if I could, but you people out there watching right now, and everybody else that aren't watching, especially them, you need to start watching, start subscribing, hit the like button, smash it, whatever the kids are saying these days, whatever's the cool thing to do, maybe not even mentioning it. Maybe I shouldn't mention it anymore, but I'm going to continue. We just broke 200 subscribers, bro. We're at 201 right now.
Yeet!
Celebration time. Let's yeet.
Yeet!
We're going to be talking about that tonight, of course. the typical wrestling notes and things, but we're going to talk about other things as well. Everybody in TikTok, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. It's amazing. They allowed me to reconnect the show once again. This was the problem, TikTok. I just want to explain what happened. All right, to everybody on the TikTok set. We were growing on there. We were killing it. I was doing gaming videos very rarely, but I was doing the show 3 p.m. on Saturdays, like I do on YouTube on the X machine. But TikTok didn't like one of my videos that I did live. And in the middle of the show, they said, "You're done." This is a comedy show, by the way. I never had a chance to show this on TikTok. Shout out to you. Thank you for letting me back on your platform. Maybe all of a sudden I started getting followers and stuff today. It's like they pushed the button over there. But I don't know if you people on audio podcasts can actually see this, so I'm going to read it for you. Warning, you are hereby notified that this show is a work of comedy. All hot takes are jokes. Imagine you're watching a horror movie. Would you be upset at Pinhead and Hellraiser and try to cancel him? Exactly. Same thing for the DrHUGEshow. The producer of this video is not responsible for you being a fool. Okay, so if you're not here for good times, I'm talking to you TikTok as well. If you're not here for good times, go do something else. All right. I'm going to do some shows on there, maybe just TikTok only shows to really try to get these numbers up because these numbers have been sucking lately. And I think it was because we were beheaded on there in a boxing ring. Got to watch myself. Who knows what it was, right? I have an idea, but do I dare mention it? No, because then they'll kick me off again, right? If I'm right about what it was. So we'll leave it at that, everybody. Get retweeting and liking. Also, I need everybody on YouTube. What's the deal? The YouTube thing it's running at a snail's pace. I hate all this. You can tell I do have notes, and we're going to get into things. Nobody's in the chat. Everybody's busy tonight. I forgot to send out the link, but I don't even think it matters. I think they're working. They're, taking care of babies. They're, what else? Playing video games, possibly. Which I don't blame you. You know what I'm saying? This wrestling stuff.
It's the shits.
Lately, in my expert opinion, and I've been watching this stuff pretty solid since, God, breaks here and there through life. But let's say 1985. I'll give myself 85. I was going to say 84. I'm like, no. Was I really forming memories at that point? Not really. So we'll say 85. And I am an expert at this shit. Sorry. That hurts a lot of people's feelings out here, especially the journalists. I'm a journalist too. Anybody can do it. You too. You person watching right now, you could be a wrestling journalist if you want to. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these toys I have. You mean to tell me I'm not a wrestling journalist? I'm not an expert. Triple H on my wall. Shawn Michaels, who blocks me on Twitter. Right? He knows who I am. Knew who I am. Right? Scott Hall and Kevin Nash over this shoulder. God, come on. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about first? Let's talk about Cody.
What do we want to talk about?
Triple H. Oh, he's that way. Triple H. We got to talk about this guy. He's got a lot of heat, brother, out here in these wrestling parts online. Man, he made a 4th of July celebration deal, probably on SmackDown. I don't know. I didn't watch SmackDown this week. How about that? Happens to be the first 2-hour SmackDown. I didn't even bother to watch it. Busy, big celebration, this 4th of July America thing, which Triple H did celebrate, but he didn't celebrate. What didn't he celebrate?
Yeet!
He didn't celebrate the LGBTs.
Yeet!
didn't celebrate Black History Month, or did they? Was it Martin Luther King?
Yeet!
It's one of them. Juneteenth, right?
Yeet!
That's like several different online offenses right there, Triple H. And I'm out here cruising the internets and the interwebs, and I see all these people kind of writing the same thing. And is the internet kind of dead? Do we even call it internets anymore? Because it seems dead when I read one tweet and then I read a whole bunch of others, and they're all just saying the same thing. If you go online and you see somebody post something funny, don't you just like it or retweet it or share it if you're on any of these platforms? No. These people out here now all steal each other's shine and their creativity from the essential person that writes, say, a funny joke. Happens to me all the time. You know, there are these accounts on here, write the most mundane things, 300 shares, 500 shares, 1 million likes. And yeah, it's just very strange. I'm weirded out by everything. So yes, everybody's upset with Triple H for this. I'm just telling you, this is a part of the wrestling community, if you want to call it that, or just society in general. Like, you guys have just gone way off the rails. This doesn't make any sense to insert yourselves politically, race-wise, religion-wise, in everything that you're placing that stuff into, like pro wrestling. But everybody's hyper aware of all of this stuff now, right? The point is, no matter how you're looking at it, you probably shouldn't be so into it like that. Because if you were like into it like this, and you have been for years or whatever, and you're not a kid, look where it's got you. Is anything any better? No, it's getting worse. See what's happening? And you're part of the problem. Me too. Well, not really. But you understand. I'm just a messenger. So don't, pew me. Censorship, right? I get it. I'm catching on. Man, I thought it was going to be easier. And, the guy that runs this places US of A. I thought a little bit. I thought, hey, maybe, people will be chillaxing on like kicking people off line for things and banning them and not letting them do their shows on your platforms since March. Yep. Right, Triple H, am I on your side? Does that mean I'm on your side? I mean, if you want me to join the Illuminati with you and John Cena and all the rest, I'll think about it. That is a nice watch. Nice wad of cash you're holding as well. So, I mean, am I going to get upset about all this? The WWE is going to celebrate this. They're not going to celebrate that, whatever. Anyway, next story. Hey, Drew McIntyre's back, folks.
Yeet!
I'm excited for that. It was cool for a moment until Randy Orton, RKO'd him at the end of that segment on Monday night. And shout out to William Robinson. Just me tonight. You're stuck with me. Yep. But you're going to get more shows and you're going to get more guests, different guests as well. I've been working on it. Everybody's a celebrity out here these days. You understand? But we're going to make it happen around here. TikTok has allowed us to come back. Breaking news again. Breaking news.
This is breaking news.
TikTok is allowing the Dr. Huge Show back on its platform. We're going to be blowing up now, William. It's only a matter of time now. More on this later. So anyway, Yep. McIntyre, Orton, Saturday night main event. Yep. There's so many shows this week. But the whole thumbnail of this video is Beast Mordos and Sasha Banks sitting in a wrestling ring having a candlelit, nice dinner. That's what that is. That's how I see wrestling for the past week or so. All these people out here in the wrestling business, they're hooking up. They're doing all kinds of business. Not rumors, not speculation. It's happening. First up, this guy's got hooked up with, can you guess? Did you know? Did you hear? Lola Vice. That's his GF, his honey baby or something. So he was at the Yankee game with her. She's solidifying her spot in the business as well with this move. WWE loves them some Priest. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. Well played, Lola Vice. Then we have Carmelo Hayes, Kalani Jordan, been dating for a while. Well, now they are engaged. Yep. Cheers to you guys. Do some yeets for you.
Yeet, 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 yeet.
That's Lola Vice. That's right, William Robinson. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. And you'll be my guest. I'm co-hosting Talking Memphis Wrestling now on Tuesday nights. Wow. Shout out to you and the wrestling show. Good luck. This wrestling talk business is tough out here. Real tough. So, yeah, that's 3 couples right there. And you know there's much, much more. Back in a couple months ago, back in the day, there were news all about a bunch of people in NXT wanted them to create a reality show, dating type thing. I already gave my example of how I could do that. Flavor of Love style, Rock of Love style. It would be the best. It would shock and awe everybody. It would be hilarious. Adonis pretty much did that same gimmick a few months ago online, at least. I don't know if they actually put it on TV. And I don't know. People didn't seem to like it online. They were like really downing it because they didn't understand what it was. These kids don't know nothing about 2000s reality TV. They're the best in the world, some of these shows. I Love Money wasn't a good show. Got it. Huge of Love. I like it. But it has nothing to do with me. I'm definitely not a participant in this. Just to break it down, guys, I talked about this last year. But this is how it's going to work. You bring in an Enzo Amore, a Big Kaz. That was the initial idea. You can have 2 guys dating on the same show because there's all these chicks and they can date the same chicks, whatever. Makes sense. But say in this situation, we take, I don't know, who needs to get laid in wrestling right now, really? Who would be funny to be doing this with in today's WWE? I'm thinking, everybody. The wheels are turning, don't worry. The smoke's coming out my ears. God, I don't know. Austin Theory? But we need somebody like funnier. You know what I'm saying? Otis could work. William Robinson, maybe you. Maybe Otis and Tozawa. We can still go with the 2-man type thing so they can both help carry the show here. And then we, ship in all these like foreign strippers and things and national strippers and get them drunk and don't allow them to have phones and for a week. And they go on dates every night with them and stuff. It won't be so elaborate like on those shows where they'd go on fancy boats and things. In my version, they'd be playing mini golf and stuff because, budget reasons. But would that not be the best thing ever? And then they pick the girls out and whatnot. Or I guess in this sense, we're going to all use these pro wrestling chicks. And I'm telling you, these pro wrestling chicks probably just as crazy. Especially if you lock them away with no phones for a week or two. If you want to make it to the end, we're kicking them out here and there. We got to let the wrestler do finishers on them till I kick them out. The Otis does the worm's elbow splash on him. I don't know what Tozawa does. I think Tozawa jumps on people. Yeah. This all makes sense to me. No water allowed. Everything's made. All the jacuzzi has vodka in it. Swimming pool's made of vodka. Only vodka in the refrigerator. Be crazy. Baby doll, that is old school. All-time favorite female. Who's my all-time favorite? I mean, if I'm really being honest, it's probably Charlotte Flair. Woo! I know that's upsets many people. Woo! But Charlotte Flair is, to me, I'm throwing my pen around here. She's the best. I got another one. Yep. So not that old school. You fancy marks out here would be like Alundra Blaze or something. Nope. Why? Because she slam dunked the title from WWE on a WCW show? Is that why? Maybe. It's pretty good. So, yep, everybody's in love in wrestling right now. Maybe that's a part of the that's going to ruin everything, right? And they're not using the backstage stuff. It doesn't seem like to make things interesting because nothing's really interesting. This whole year, nothing has happened. John Cena turned heel, right? What else happened? Shout out to you, Paladin. I tried to mod you today and put in your name. I couldn't find it. What happened? You're out here. You messed it all up with that other name. But at least you changed it back. You heeded my warning. Thank you. Yep, Alundra Blaze Medusa was smoking hot. Key word, right? Was. Don't kick me off TikTok. Thank you. What else is happening? Other than everybody hooking up in the WWE. And I mean, the guys that are married, they must be hooking up too, right? They must be. What's going on with you, coach? I mean, these are grown men. You're going to travel around with a bunch of fitness model and you're not messing around with any of them or the rats in the cities. All the cities you go to. Traveling circus. If Vince McMahon was doing the stuff he was doing, which I don't even think is illegal, how is that illegal? How is having sex with a 40-year-old broad illegal? Whether you like how he was doing it or not, how is that illegal? So, the Diddy parties are all a good time until that check stops coming. So I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all this stuff still. I've been in a bad mood pretty much all last week up until today, and I'm still kind of in a bad mood today. So this whole bad mood thing is like the bad mood era right now. Everything is super over the top obnoxious. Tired of everybody and their horseshit. Thank you. We all had a great weekend, right? We better had. In this cross business, everybody really wants to put him over. I get it. I want it to. But I'm not playing along with this. Not anymore. Not even to the extent I was, which wasn't all that much. Do I like Cross? Did I always like him? I liked him when he was with the Final Testicle. That's how long back I liked him, kids. But everybody's on the bandwagon now, and WWE's just like, yep, we'll let him do something backstage once a week for a minute. Really? In the meantime, you're going to have Cody Rhodes out there boring us to death. Oh, I tuned in a little bit to some of the shows last week. I wasn't watching like I normally was on Monday, Tuesday, or Friday. They're losing me with this. There's nothing really going on. The most exciting thing in the past month I can think of is the whole Gunther situation, Rollins with the briefcase, talking to him, Punk getting involved with him, LA Knight getting involved with Rollins and Punk. That's interesting. There's something brewing there. We need more of that. And everything else, like everything else, is pretty just meh. I mean, the John Cena stuff, it was cool months ago. Slowly just fizzling out. We get it. He's going to probably hold this title until the end of the year. And oh my God, if Cody or Roman Reigns just win this belt back, you know what that will be, folks.
It's the shits.
That will be the ultimate shits. Cody Rhodes as champion again. Good guy champion, especially. Whoo, boy.
It's the shits.
That will make me so bored. I don't even watch his stuff anymore. He is like, I can go make a sandwich. When I hear the music hit, I know it's going to be a long entrance, overblown, all the fireworks, blah, blah, blah. Very cringe, very annoying. He's going to come out doing the goofy smiles, and then he's going to get in the ring, and he's going to go and doing the sucking breath and the whole fake speeches. And it stinks. I'm so done with it. And then Randy Orton, who I don't mind. I like Randy Orton. You're just fine. You've always been to me. Ever since, well, Legend Killer was a little above average, I would say. But this is just some mediocre, like he's just kind of going through the motions. He's doing the job. I'm Randy Orton. Everybody cheer. Everybody sing the song, right? That's the big deal of this all. Which from my era, my big peak generation, you know what we would call that? I think you know what we would call that. Okay?
I'm not gay no more.
All right, well, good for you. Good for you. Okay? 100%, right? On everything I say. Thank you, Paladin. These are very deep pro wrestling thoughts here. So you got to share this. You got to go to YouTube and watch this show on YouTube. It's the best. And TikTok and X. But shout out to the other platforms. You know one guy that's not getting it. Well, maybe he is getting action. This guy. Whoa. Look at him. That's Liv Morgan's stalker, folks. That's the guy I was goofing on last week. You've been caught, pal, with that pellet gun outside that poor girl's house. What were you gonna do? You like her so much you want to shoot her with a pellet gun? I don't understand crazy people. And of course, crazy people don't know that they're crazy. But bro, what was the plan? You're gonna drive all the way from Canada. I mean, I'm assuming, let's just assume for a moment that he's not crazy. Like, voice is telling him to do things crazy. So he's like, all right, I'm going to go drive hundreds of miles to Liv Morgan's house and just wait on her doorstep. In the article I read, or whatever, it said that he picked up the rifle off the porch. So I don't know, did he bring it or did he pick it up off the way? It's awfully weird that would be there anyway. I just like this big pellet gun. All right. So, yep, this guy, that's what he did. And you know he's crazy because look at the hairdo. He's got a full head of hair except for in the front. It's like all thin AF. You know he's crazy just by that alone. So sorry that this has to happen to you, Liv Morgan. You know, people are weirdos. That's my hot take on that, right? This whole time he could have just been training and wrestling. He probably would have ended up with Lola Vice. You know, if he took a break from all that stalking and just was like, you know what, I'm going to get muscles. I'm going to do some flips, become popular in the indie scene, and then I'm going to date Lola Vice. Could have happened. If you put your mind to it, Mr. Thinning Hair Man. Oh, by the way, you would also have to shave your head or get it filled in Chris Jericho style. You're not Chris Jericho.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's Chris Jericho. So, yep. What else is happening? This poster for this weekend is happening to make it even bigger for everybody. This is one of the posters. Look at the face with Rhea Ripley in the middle, right? You guys like that? You like that face? I know many of you do. I don't. 2 out of the 3 right in the front in your top 3 places here. I don't even like them. Bianca, you're cool. The man, you're still not cool. Becky Hogan. Just like Mercedes Hogan, you're no different. Then we got Charlotte Flair, left of Becky. Io Sky, you guys are cool. Naomi, you're cool. The little girls, Alexa and Roxy, cool. Tiffany, Trish, you know, the mother-daughter team. You guys are also cool. Everybody in the middle row except for Zelina, because she blocks me on Twitter, and also it's because she stinks.
I'm not gay.
What? Then we have the Hervis, the secret Hervis. Piper's not in this one. She was in the other one I saw. Yeah, top row. I like the top row. I like the whole top row. How about that? Except for Jada Parker. She's kind of annoys me. And then we have Bailey and Kairi Sane, I think, jumping in. Yep. Not a huge fan of this poster. Not a huge fan of this pay-per-view. It's already being planned that this is possibly going to bomb. So, I mean, there's a lot of wrestling this week. Let's go through some of the things. What's happening here? We got, of course, Monday Night Raw tonight. We have NXT tomorrow night. We have SmackDown Friday. You got NXT Great American Bash on Saturday. Then you have Saturday night main event after that, I assume. Then you got Evolution Sunday night. So after all that other wrestling, am I just going to be super excited to watch more lady wrestling? I don't know. Let's ask the Usos. What do you guys think? No yeet. No yeet. They say no yeet. I'm going with it. So I'm with that too. No yeet. We don't need this, especially at this point in this point in time. You're gonna make a lady pay-per-view in between all these other pay-per-views. Doesn't make any sense, and it seems like the talent doesn't like this either. They were saying, I'm hearing rumors that, you know, they're like, why are they doing this to us? They're setting us up for failure pretty much. And I mean, Beyonce, many of their favorites, that Beyonce lady is going to be across the street in the same night. That's just not good. That's not good for them. Okay. So I don't know. I'm bored by all this. There's too much. And a lot of it isn't good. Okay? So, expect a lot of other topics to be popping up on the show. I've been threatening that for months now. Slowly but surely putting in other things that are non-pro wrestling related, because these shows stink, bro. Is it just the creative? No, they were hot for a period. They had it going on for a little bit. Oh, yeah, and then AEW is, they got the all-in thing on Sunday, right? Or is that Saturday? I'm confused by all these. There's too much. I'm not keeping up with it all. It's annoying. This is all annoying. Even tonight, I'll watch a little tonight. I'm not going to be invested like I was. We have highlights now, Triple H. And you know what would beat highlights? Is if you stopped making so many shows, because we're possibly getting an NXT Europe show now too. Pretty soon there's going to be more wrestling shows than anything else. We are going full idiocracy. It stinks. Donald Trump announced that they're going to have a UFC fight outside on the lawn of the White House. Really? I'm supposed to be the goofy guy, not the president. That's something I would do. Okay? Not the president. He shouldn't be allowed to be thinking like that. We are really going into that movie and have kind of already been there. I don't like anybody out here. A lot of these people out here, except for you guys in the chat, of course, the people watching and listening, you guys are the best. But all these other people, I don't trust them. You shouldn't trust them. They're idiots. So, yeah. How about that whole Punk situation? Remember we talked about that a few weeks ago or whatever, where he went to Saudi Arabia and Muhammad in the crowd was like, hey, you need to apologize. And then he did. Then he met with him afterwards. Also met with the kid that he supposedly shoved away in that infamous video. I don't believe any of this. A lot of other people out here don't either. I think we're on to something. It's all a work. Everything is a work. Pro wrestling, obviously a work. The stuff outside of wrestling, but still wrestling, like this situation we were just talking about, a work. All this stuff. Then go on beyond that. Still, at the highest levels, work. It's all fake. Blowing minds here tonight.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Yep. Fake. Fake and G-worded. Sorry to tell you. The Illuminati's in charge. Yep. So no more Lola Vice for anybody. She's now taken by Damian Priest. People are very angry about Jacob Fatu this week. He said the N-word, guys.
I don't like men no more.
I wasn't talking about that, but Jacob Fatu, he's doing a rap music and what have you. Been to prison, as Michael Cole told me through the TV. Samoans, been in gang areas like Los Angeles. I believe he's from California somewhere. Samoans are well known to be in the streets in certain areas. Am I offended by it? But here's the crazy thing. I actually was DM'd one time when I wrote the N-word with the A, right? Online many years back. And this lady gets in my DMs and goes, you wrote the N-word, blah, blah, blah. And I am like, yup. And she's like, They're like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, yes, I can. Are you black? You're mixed, aren't you? Imagine that. Imagine telling that to Drake, right? Or anybody else. That's crazy talk. And I never heard of this before in my life. But I believe this was around 2018, 2019. And I was like, huh? And then I slowly learned, while everybody was getting dumber through the year 2020 and 2021, 2022, and so forth. So, all those years, everybody's getting slower and slower. And this became like more of a thing where it's like, you're not really black unless you're like 100%. Huh? That's news to me. So again, am I upset with Jacob Fatu, who's damn near a black man? I mean, come on. What are we doing? Are we going to check everybody's DNA that can say a word? You understand? Stop being stupid out here. They really, race is something that was constructed, right? You guys get this. I understand that racists don't get this, and that like real haters don't understand this. But people are people. Get it? That's it. So if you're going to be upset by that, listen, everybody can understand context, and everybody can understand, what's meant as something and what's not meant as something. And all these people want to play these games with semantics and these word games and lawyer games and stuff. You don't need that. How about use your head? So people have been complaining to Triple H about that as well. Got to do something about it. Said the N-word in a rap song. You guys are idiots. Why don't you go take it up with the Samoan werewolf yourself if you don't like it? I suggest you do that. Let's see how that works out. Sure, it'd be great, right? Right, Jay?
Yee!
Exactly. You'll bite your neck right off. Rick Grimes style. So let's get it straight. Jacob Fatu, he's bad guy. Cody Rhodes gonna save the black community and fix all the race relations. That's what we're going with over here in the show. Not facts or anything, TikTok. This isn't a fact. This is just speculation. I didn't say any bad words or anything. I didn't do any of that. I've been holding back. I know I've been allowed back on the platform. Don't kick me off yet. I didn't do anything. You let everybody else lie about everything on there and say all kinds of wild stuff. But when Dr. Huge does it, I don't know. Everybody gets all upset. So, yeah, I got opinions too. In this Jacob Fatu, King Reezy, I give him an N-word pass. And guess what, other fellow black people? You can't give me a pass. I already got the pass. Had the pass. So let's figure this logic out, Reezy. I can be called an N-word hard R multiple times in my life in certain situations, right? But I can't say it with the A. That's the logic? Got it. So, Jacob Fatu, don't worry about it, bro. Keep busting out the rhymes, and I'll pick up the CD. I'll cop the tape. Put it on vinyl. I'll scratch it. Thank you. Up next. Well, this is what was debated, Reezy. Let's go back to Jacob Fatu real quick. Yes, I'm a half a black and a half a white. Whole human, though. Yes. So I'll do what I want. Because guess what? Guess who didn't? Guess who the people were that didn't just accept me because of my looks back in the day? Can you guess who those people were? Guess who the ones that were like, No. You're black. Can you figure that out, everybody? Let's story time, right? Guess what? The black people. They were like, no, you're black. That's how this works. You got a drop of it. You got the kinky hair and this and that. You're black. Ever see The Sopranos? Remember his daughter's boyfriend? Get it? So that goes for everybody. Yes. So yeah, when I think of myself I don't even think of myself in terms of race, but if I do, I think of myself in terms of the perspective of other people that have been around me for many, many years. And that perspective has 99% of the time always been, you're black. And the other, let's say 5% of the time, was always white people going, well, you're not black. You're not really black, because they would hear me talk and they would see, how I was, right? Which is not black or white culturally, really. I made up my own stuff. And then when it stopped being the white people that said that, 5% of the white people that were like, well, you could be this or that. I don't really consider you, black person. Because, I was one of the good people, right? And then now I got all these black people telling me I'm not black. That's amazing. Have you ever seen the Cosbys? Anybody? Same family too, right? Which is generally how these Caribbean families roll. Got some really dark people and you got some really light people. So how would you know? That's why you got to ask. So, yep. I hope I learned everybody a whole lot of stuff today, because I think I just did. Fixed all the race relations way better than this guy ever did. He's creating Dr. Huges and other humans. You understand? Yep. But, hey, my allegiance is to humanity. I'm a humanitarian in many ways. Thank you. So, yes, Becky Hogan. I got to make a Mercedes Hogan because, to think Becky Hogan's bad, Mercedes Hogan, way worse. Sasha Hogan, I would rather call her that, but just so we all know who we're talking about. She's going to have a triple threat for her title. She's going to come out on Raw tonight, blah, 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 suck air like Cody Rhodes does. It's going to stink. I'm not going to like it, but hey, I might be there for it. And of course, Coach gets it. Even though he's Canadian, he still gets it somehow. Bro, we all bleed red and that's it. Exactly. But you understand, I'm doing a show here and I like to drag things out a little bit. Never heard any of the Samoans say the N-word. I'm confused why this is such an issue. Well, he say again in a rap song, and he probably says it not in rap songs too, because he's hood. You get it? Everybody understand? Listen, there are certain white people that are allowed to say it. One of the most N-word people I've ever known in my life was a white man. Okay? He did things more N-word-ish than the most hardcore N-word you would ever see in your life. More G'd up, gangster, crazy. If that's what we're going with that word. And everybody allowed him to use it. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. It's just, to take offense with it is just what people are taking offense to everything out here. You know what you should be taking offense to? What was told to us last night. I'm not getting into it because I'm on, these platforms that don't allow me to say much. So they allow everybody else to talk about this stuff, but me, You know, I'm not Joe Rogan, so I can't do it. But yeah, there's bigger news out there than all of this nonsense. And I'm sitting here just hoping if I tune into Evolution that I see this. The Punisher mask on Nia Jax's gun. Once again. Because that was one of my favorite moments. That's Rodriguez's face, Raquel. Her makeup right on Nia Jax's belly. Face planted right into it perfectly. I mean, if we don't get a moment like this in Evolution, what are we doing? Yep. So, I heard news Jelly Roll was going to be on SummerSlam. Do we need that?
It's the shits.
And if I have to mention it again with these celebrities, they're not slowing down with it. They've been promoting Cardi B since the first time they promoted SummerSlam, that she was going to be on SummerSlam. Big whoop. Oh, look at that. She just timed an album to come out with it right beforehand.
It's the shits.
And modern rap sucks, okay, for the most part. But what's the worst of it? The stripper rappers. The stripper rappers is the worst.
It's the shits.
They stink. Did you see this song recently in the past week where they had some like 500-pound girl out there? They're eating chicken. They're talking about guys doing things to them, and they have to be on Plan B and this and that. And it's just gross. And if you don't notice that that's like a psychological operation, it is. How does Jelly Roll get a storyline? Cross gets shoved in the catering. Yeah, exactly. Well, Cross is kind of messing with Sami Zayn right now. Still not a big storyline or anything, but hey, something. So he had a match, and now he attacked them backstage. Something better come of it. But Jelly Roll, yeah, I heard he might be having a match of his own at some point or getting more involved than usual. No, we don't want this, man. You think are they really gonna attract more viewers with Jelly Roll? And they're gonna be like, I gotta tune in to SummerSlam for my Jelly Roll. Oh. And the Pauls and Jake Paul's he had a boxing match again recently. It all stinks. It's all fake. Everything's fake. I get it. Pro wrestling is too. But hey, we've known this. And then we still have people telling Dr. Huge, especially a grown man, knowing what's going on. You know this is fake, right? Do you know everything in your life is fake? You don't. You're fooled. You're the mark. Hip-hop is all CIA involved these days. Has been for quite some time, but now it's just permeated the whole thing. Yep. Supposedly, there's documentaries out there that they created the hippie movement in the 60s and the LSD and all this business. They created the whole MDMA rave scene movements. These are all like little petri dishes for them to do experiments. And they did. And then they kill off half the performers or most of them. Did any of them make it out of the 60s, really? Like the big ones? I don't think so. So yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole right there. I'll tell you, the first time my eyes were open to certain things like this was through the music business in the early 2000s, because I was looking into it. How does this operate? How do I break in? Blah, 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 blah. And I would always reach towards the end. It's like, oh, well, it's all rigged. Okay, well, I guess there's no breaking in then. You have to make millions on your own. Even back then, right, before SoundCloud and everything else, you'd have to make millions on your own, sell the CDs, sell the copies of your stuff, have a record of it, basically have your own business where you're doing music regardless of build your own label. Then another label would come up and try to rob you, and you could allow them or whatever, and then you become something else. So yeah, it's a very, very crooked. It's just all crooked. Like they say, it's like one of the shadiest businesses in the world. But then everything else is now too. Everything's pretty much the same. Wrestling, I don't know. It's one of the last places. You do have billionaires and their sons involved still. So there's that. There's levels to this, and many of us will never reach those levels unless you're born into those families. Yeah. So, okay. I would like to do a debate show. Not me debating, me moderating it. But if I ever catch people fighting out here about a certain subject in a serious manner that has something to do with what I talk about with this wrestling business, then come on here. If you got a beef with somebody out there, you think they're stupid, they think you're stupid, you want to settle it, let's do it. I will be totally fair and balanced. Just like Fox News, right, guys? Just like it. Just like all the TV news stations. Yep. So I also seen, here's some more complaining. I'm going to complain about the people complaining. Shafir, is that her name on AEW? One of my few AEW notes. She got clotheslined by Adam Page last week. Big whoop. She's been beating everybody up for a couple years now. Slapping everybody around, making them lose matches, this and that. And I saw a handful of people very upset with this. And I don't get it. What is wrong with everybody? It's pro wrestling, right? You guys are doing mixed tags and having the full-on man versus woman matches in the indies and stuff. This is what I'm saying. There's too many newcomers. There's too many newcomers out here to this pro wrestling stuff. If you like it, cool. I'm not like, oh, I've been here, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what people do when they're like kids. They'll be like 15 years old. I've been watching since I was 12, so, you can't tell me anything. I'm not saying that. That's all good for you. But why is everybody popping off about things they don't know about? So I liked it, and I don't even watch AEW. I'm not like into it like that. But I actually went and looked at the clip because I'm like, they really did that? Because, Baron Corbin did that to Becky Lynch recently. Remember he deep sixed her or whatever that move was. Then he, who else was it? Oh, Randy Orton hit Nia Jax with an RKO several years ago, whatever. It happens here and there. The shock value of it, she gets her comeuppance, so to speak, for beating on and making everybody lose their matches for however long. So I assume everybody popped. Moxley was all upset. What's funny about that is they were all in the arena when this happened, right? Moxley was just acting all upset after it happened, and so weren't the other guys, but then they didn't do anything about it. So you PG watchers out there, yeah, I don't want to hear it from these guys anymore, Coach. They're exhausting. They cry about everything. They're crying about Jacob Fatu and his rap songs and clotheslining a wrestler. Come on, bro. Yep. So that happened. Raw's on in 5 minutes, so I'm closing this thing up soon. I got a whole bunch of other notes, but let's tell you what's happening tonight. Breaker versus Sammy. Roxy versus Kyrie. Bucky Lunch has something to say out here. The man. Then we have Penta and Seth Rollins, which I actually look forward to that one. Jay versus Bronson Reed.
Yeet.
And El Grande Americano is back. He snaps right back from injury just like that. Not Chad Gable. Oh, Grande Americano. You'll see. You'll see more on this later tonight. And don't forget, of course, to follow all my links. Come over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button if you're watching right now. Hit the like button if you want more shows this week and every week during the week, leading up to the big Saturday show, 3 p.m. on Saturdays. I got all kinds of stuff here. I will be doing a Whatnot show very soon. So if you have the Whatnot app, you can get it here. You can sign up through me if you want to. If you want to throw me some ducats, you also get I think a little bit out of it as well. You might get 10 or 20 bucks if you sign up to Whatnot through me. So let me know. Hit me up on X, IG. It's all here, folks. And I will talk to you guys later on this week. Have a good Monday Night Raw. Peace.
Titillate the juices.
You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You!
First up, a man whose looks.
I thought I like women.